it's going to be Cloud fighting for his position. I think he's already qualified. I'm pretty sure he's qualified from the groups. But it's kind of, this last game will kind of determine who gets, I think, second and third, whoever wins this game. So. Obviously, if wulverate wins, Cloud will come and will qualify, but lower seed. And wulverate, surprisingly, unheard of, does play for Team Thermaltake, so they are a pretty known team, but unheard of personally, but has managed to take a couple of games. And this is going to be the really decisive match, actually, for his future career in this tournament. Absolutely, and Cloud will be looking to flatten the guy, really. Cloud's had a few upsets. He is not happy, and he is looking to steamroll and get a little bit of vengeance. And that's what's going to be happening as we go into this one right here. Should be a fun match, honestly. I'm looking forward to it. And we're in game. Indeed, folks. We're looking forward to this one. It's going to be on the Tal'Darim altar. It's a fan favorite. And here we go. We've got Cloud in the red trunks right here. He is playing Terran right here on the Tal'Darim altar versus his opponent, the one and only wulverate from Team Thermaltake. He is in the pink trunks, and he is playing Protoss. wulverate indeed from Team Thermaltake. Very good team, actually. I played a couple of their players on the ladder. Yep. I mean, they're not really up there with the same level as Team Liquid and Fnatic and Team Dignitas.
God, who is, let's be honest.
Yeah, of course. But they're still a pretty decent, okay team. I mean, they do compete in a lot of tournaments, and they do quite okay against the one and only, the Italian Stallion, the Italian Horse.
The Italian Horse.
The Italian Horse.
The Italian Horse doesn't work quite as well,
It doesn't sound quite the same. It's like
Not
the Italian
really.
Stallion and then the Italian Horse.
Well, yeah, there's no rhyme there. I'm sorry. It just can't work. You've ruined it.
That's
ruined
okay.
it for everybody.
Cloud's amazing. He's going to be fine. He doesn't need a name like Italian Stallion.
You're the one who gave him that in the first place.
No, I didn't give it him.
Liar, liar, liar.
Give it to him.
Oh my, oh my.
He's had that name for a while.
I
think it was actually Rotterdam, surprisingly. I think so.
This is interesting. wulverate actually ends up with a gateway on 11 supply right there. That's quite early.
Yeah, it is actually. You know, skipping a probe. Well, not really skipping a probe, just putting that a little earlier. We'll have to see how he kind of develops from here, whether he'll be very aggressive, whether he won't. And Cloud, I think, I'm going to push the boat out and say that I do favour Cloud in this matchup personally.
Yeah,
and would put my money there, but I put my money in a few locations. My invisible money.
Unsanitary locations.
Yeah, and that hasn't come down too well. And if I actually had the money to do betting, I don't think I'd be too rich right now.
No, it doesn't seem to be a strong point, honestly. I think you should just stick to Zerg.
Yeah, that's the only thing I am good at, and even then I'm pretty terrible at Zerg, so such a waste of space.
There we go, folks. That is the wonderful British attitude of self-deprecation going on right there for my one and only co-commentator. It's good, folks. It's good. It makes us more liked around the world, I feel.
I wouldn't be. So I'm looking at wulverate now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he actually just went for some kind of aggressive 4-gate play, because even though Cloud's the better player, you can still beat him with a 4-gate. I mean, you can beat anybody with 4-gate, and we do have a lot of energy saved up, and he will be chrono boosting out the Cybernetics core, so it could possibility. And that's kind of the thing that the mentality lesser players have when they come up against, you know, a really good player. They're like, well, you know, I can't drag it out for too long, otherwise his macro is going to kick in. And
let's get aggressive, let's fight him on one base, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Cloud's macro is absolutely absurd. Although I have to say, I've not really seen a huge amount of it in this tournament thus far. He's not looked as strong as I've seen him in the past. We nicknamed him in the Fnatic tournament the Terran Mogul, simply because of the amount of money he was bringing in all the time. His economy was ridiculous. He was able to defend early 14 expansions and things like that. He pretends to be a Zerg player. So, yes. Yeah, that's what we expected to see right here. However, we are seeing an expansion from Cloud, which is to be expected. Reaper on the way out. This Reaper could be critical in the next few minutes, but Tal'Darim Altar is a very, very large map, and you've got to be extremely careful about placement.
Yeah, and both players are scouting each other extremely late. They will find each other. I'm not sure this probe. Oh, that's a very close pile.
That is gutsy.
That is very cheeky, actually.
Gutsy. All it takes is for Cloud to take a few steps to the right, but he's not doing that. He's going in the other direction. This could be pretty damn critical. And actually, if this ends up working out for wulverate, then I would be concerned for Cloud right now. I really, really would.
And he's got to actually deny this SCV. This is huge. Oh, he gets a Zealot hit on, and the SCV's dead. And Cloud could be in a world of trouble.
I'm thinking so.
And more units have already been warped in. Can you see it, though?
Oh,
He's
yes.
actually going to see it now. He's
yeah.
going in a little bit premature, actually. But another forward pylon, and SCVs are going to have to be pulled.
That is aggressive as hell there from wulverate. Incredibly aggressive play. Actually going with the 11 gateway into that. He'll lose that pylon, but he does have another one coming in. This pressure is going to be tough to stop.
Very tough to stop. A lot of SCVs are there repairing this, and actually, we don't have too many units in production. Only two barracks are now going ahead, but the Reaper is getting a lot of shots away in the main.
Is chewing his way through the mineral line of Cloud. Yeah, wulverate, not Cloud. Don't be ridiculous. He's doing incredibly well right now. It might end in a base race scenario. Admittedly, the base race will most likely be won by wulverate, but you never know, folks. Cloud is holding the line with as many SCVs as he can. Drops back to the bunker repeatedly. Target fires particularly. Needs to keep this bunker up, but the SCVs are getting torn apart right now. There's very little left. In the meantime, we can check out what exactly the Reaper's been doing. The Reaper was actually taken out. Finally, wulverate able to warp something in to deal with that. GG, ladies and gentlemen. An aggressive 4-gateway play by wulverate. And Cloud was not able to deal with that at all. An interesting variation as well.
Really, kind of you can kind of say build order win. 4-gate versus fast expand. Didn't work out so well, and Cloud. Sounds like Clyde's like Cloud. What are you doing?
That's nasty. The thing is, bear in mind, Tal'Darim is a great map for doing 4-gateways on, simply because of the size. I've got to say, wulverate was incredibly gutsy putting that pylon there, and it was very unfortunate by Cloud. I think he could have scouted around a little bit earlier with that Reaper, could have spotted it, could have denied it, didn't, and therein lies the problem. And even ended up losing the Reaper, even though he was chewing his way through the mineral line. It wasn't good enough. Cloud ended up losing that one pretty damn quickly, and he is in real risk.
He has to keep his composure. I mean, what is this? I mean, this is not the same Cloud we usually see online, offline. He's dropping games, and this is not the kind of situation you want to be dropping games when you're on the verge of, you know, he will advance. That is guaranteed. I mean, I've already said that he will advance, but against, you don't want to be going into the double elim having to play Goody or someone else like that. So it's not so good for him, and he needs to pull out this victory. And we are going to go into the second map, which is going to be on Shakur's Plateau. Which I don't think Cloud's going to be too greedy this game. I think he's going to play better. He has to play better.
Well, yeah, this is not the kind of map where that strategy would work as well as it does on Tal'Darim. And that's the thing that people have been saying about the metagame, that it's been shifting so much as a result of the map pull. We're going to be going into the game in just a few short moments. 2-1, and there we go, the wonderful loading screen. Okay, folks, and here we go. Right here, I bring you Cloud in the red trunks. He is playing Terran right here on the Shakuras Plateau versus his opponent, the one and only wulverate from Team Thermaltake. He is in the pink trunks, and he is playing Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players have been complaining over and over about the 4-gate. And just because of the stim changes, and then you've also got the bunker changes too. It takes a long time to get that bunker up. And Cloud playing very greedy, I guess is the best way to describe it. Getting that very early command center up. But on that kind of map, it's very hard to predict what your opponent's going to do.
Well,
I mean, I guess Cloud doesn't even know who Thermaltake is.
I'm fairly sure he does, let's be honest.
I mean, not Thermaltake, sorry, Wulverate.
No, he might not, but
Wulverate, yeah.
The thing is, he's against a Protoss on Tal'Darim. He has a Reaper. What is the... You have explained already the reason to have a Reaper in that matchup, and he didn't use it the way that it should have been used. You've got to admit that regardless of the power of the 4-gate, it is beatable. It's been beaten by plenty of players before, and more to the point, he had the means to beat it and failed to do so. It was carelessness. It's as simple as that.
Well, he kind of did scout out. He did scout it, and eventually, but it was
eventually.
But the Reaper wasn't idle for too long.
I feel it was, honestly. It really was. He could have scouted. He didn't look to the right at all, and you saw a couple of steps to the right would have shown him that pylon, and that would have been it.
But I mean, you already you scout with an SCV. You see where your opponent's base is. I mean, scouting to the right-hand side isn't really, you know, the standard pathway for a Reaper to go. Even though you would have scouted it, you would have seen it, but I mean, you know, your opponent's on the left-hand side, you don't really expect anything to be on the right.
The thing is, at Tal'Darim Multi, you have so many paths to make that happen. It's not like other maps. You've got many access points whereby you could put a pylon in an unexpected place, and you have to be careful about that.
We'll have to see what wulverate decides to do on this map. Will he decide to go for a similar play? I mean, it could very well take Cloud out, but Cloud is going to play a bit more cautious this time, just get the second barracks down.
Yep.
And he did even use an SCV very early to actually scout around the inside of his main, predicting, oh, actually, decides to cancel that, you know, throwing away. Well, I think he might even go just for a standard factory play here and something like Banshees. It's going to be the most profitable build for him to do. His opponents looked and saw 2 racks. Now, especially after that first game, the mentality is going to be like, well, guess Cloud's going to be expecting a bit of early pressure. I'm just going to play a bit more macro heavy. And Cloud's not going to do that.
You don't want to get into a macro fight with Cloud. You really, really don't. That is not the situation you want to be in.
He's supply blocked at 19. This is not the same Cloud we have been seeing over and over.
Obviously shaken after that last game, honestly. You know, that's going to be the psychology of it.
I mean, he just needs to spend his money. He really can't. He needs to put buildings down or something to get rid of this, even by building another supply depot. And look at the unit canning station. 5 probe difference already at the 4-minute 30 mark.
Even considering the usual difference between Protoss and Terran, that's quite a large gap. Honestly, that is unexpectedly large. So I'm concerned for Cloud now. I'm really
concerned because he's going for this Banshee style, and his opponent's gone 1 gate into Robo.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want when you're going to go for a Banshee, obviously, because you're going to have the Observer out a lot faster than usual. Yep. He's going to scout your tech path very soon. And Cloud, it seems, safe to say, it's almost like he's just falling into the build order trap, where he's getting unlucky, and his opponent is doing exactly what is best to counter him.
Absolutely, and he's doing a good job of it. Certainly, I'd be concerned. It is odd because I've seen Cloud play, and Cloud is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, he's actually skipping the Observer though. That's what I was waiting to see out. He's going to go straight for the Immortal.
Interesting.
By adding on another 2 gateways, so we have 3 gateways in total with the robotics facility, and he will be looking to do some, well, basically a very early push. And we do have the pylon being placed down here as well. Cloud has Cloaked Banshee on the way, but he only has 4 Marines. 5 Marines in total with this Banshee too. And Cloak, is he going to get an Observer or a second Immortal? Second Immortal it is, and I think Cloud's going to be able to defend against this just because he's going to have Cloaked Banshees out to help this defend against it. And also the SCVs are going to help repair the bunker, so Cloud should be, in theory, safe.
It should be okay. That's actually a curious choice from wulverate, I would say. You know, what do you think is going through wulverate's mind when he decides to take a tech path like that?
Well, he wants to kill him straight away, expecting Cloud to maybe go 2 racks Expo inside his main. I'm not really thinking Cloud would have too much units in army. And Cloud even sees the pylon here. If you look at his vision, he sees the pylon going down, and that Banshee was on its track to his opponent's base, decides to pull it, keep it on the ramp.
Smart idea.
And a lot of SCVs have already been pulled off in anticipation for this push.
Yeah, exactly. This Immortal is going to chew through that bunker, and it'll have to be taken out, and we'll see just how he can pull that off. A second Banshee is on the way, and here we go. Here's the engagement right here. A good force field split. That's absolutely crucial. He's able to deny repairs to the bunker. The bunker already torn apart right here. Banshee is not in a good state at all. There's the Cloak. That was a great idea right there. No Observer, and that's critical. Now he can take his pick right here. Tear out as many units as possible. Nail him down with a Banshee. Another bunker coming up right here. SCV's on the line. Very little for Cloud, though. He's going to have to hold this as much as he can. Looking to take those Immortals out. He drives them away, and simply because of a mistake by wulverate not bringing an Observer. Those Banshees came out at just the right time. It was the correct choice, and everything is going to die right now. They will not be able to get away from this.
Smart play by Cloud, instantly throwing down the expansion after this. Going to be so far ahead. And, well, wulverate not looking so good in this game. The Observer is finally out, but there just aren't enough anti-air. And a 3rd Banshee is even on its way now. So combine this together, we're going to have 3 Banshees, and 3 Stalkers is not looking good because the DPS of Banshees is so high.
Oh, it's good. It's good against the Immortals as well, just because of the way that they have 2 attacks and they do 12 damage. So the shields do trigger, but they don't take a huge amount of damage off. So they're not big, hard-hitting units. They're rapid-fire units. Free pylon right here. And 6 kills on one of those Banshees. 5 kills nearly, now 7 thanks to that pylon. That is absolutely crucial, and that turned the game around immediately. And do you think wulverate was just getting a little bit overconfident?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to snipe Cloud, basically. He knows he can't beat Cloud in the long game, trying to cheese him, you could almost say, by taking him out within the first 6-7 minutes. And now actually this counterattack here, a lot of units for wulverate could do a lot of damage. There is no bunker or anything here.
Cloud's only got Marines on the field. This is not a good situation at all. That's what, 6-7 Stalkers coming in right here. Another pull off the mineral line. The Banshees are going to have to get involved. The Observer this time is there. He hasn't scanned it. He hasn't shot it. The Cloak will not help at all. He's trying to drive him away as quickly as possible. One Banshee out the air. Second one down. That's brutal. Once again, Sentry, a Raven deployed as well. He could take the Observer out, which might help him. He defends it, but only barely. This is nasty.
Yeah, he does have the second command center up and the orbital command on its way now, so he should be able to reimburse all the SCVs he's lost. He's still at 7 lead, and as long as he keeps defending these aggressive attacks, he'll be fine. And wulverate forced to put down this Nexus. He's just going to fall behind as he can't puncture any more holes in Cloud, and Cloud pretty much safe now from here. I'd
like to point out just how few workers Cloud actually lost there. 3. That was how well they were not only defended, micromanaged, but also repaired. You know, got them fixed up, moved them back when they were damaged. Incredibly good defense there by Cloud. That's the kind of Cloud we expect to see. And now Cloud is back on top, and his income is actually looking even stronger than wulverate right now.
Yeah, 2 orbital commands, double set of mules, going to be really helping him in this game. And now Cloud is going to be aggressive. How many observers does our little friend over here, wulverate, have? He has 2 observers, 1 on the main, which is a very nice location. We'll be able to warp in units to defend against this. But continuing with this attack, I mean, a lot of units here probably just going to try and slow down this expansion of Cloud in anticipation for it to be landing quite soon.
The thing is, Cloud's going to be able to get things rolling. His defense is much stronger this time around, and wulverate will not be able to break it with the same trick twice. No Immortals on the field either to deal with those Marauders. Twilight Council on the way, and harassment in the back of the base as well, although extremely well defended there by wulverate. Very easy to intercept that, and as you said before, good observer positioning as well.
Yeah, only managed to get 1 probe kill from that, not really doing much damage at all. Now wulverate does have his main. He's got 5 probes queued actually on the Nexus on the natural.
Idle money, we call it, folks. Idle money.
Yeah, that's not too good, but we'll have to see how he does from here. He hasn't really. I mean, he stopped probe production. He has 4 queued on the main as well. Excuse me, really trying to get these out. 27 to 37 now. Cloud at a really large lead.
Absolutely, and you thought Cloud was out of the game. Well, certainly Apollo didn't, but some of you spectators might have. But this is Cloud. Never, ever, ever underestimate him. That is the kind of defense you expect from a player of that level. And Cloud now looking in a very good position. And if Cloud gets that macro rolling, there'll only be one conclusion.
Yeah, and he's got it starting to roll now. He's got 4 barracks in total with a factory and starport with a reactor in the main, transferring down to the natural. And we're going to start seeing a lot of units pumping out. Wouldn't be surprised if he did start. Yeah, there he is. Started the +1 attack now as well. And at the same time, what do we have with wulverate? He is starting to go for Blink and Zealot Charge. Very wise to do so.
Yep, it's a great idea. wulverate is going to be forced to hold back, though, and that's the critical thing. Cloud loves to be in this position that he is right now. He really, really does. He's very comfortable. He'll get the expansions. He'll start to nail down those upgrades. wulverate does not want that to happen. He's going to have to do something to break that. But how the hell is he even going to break into the base? Cloud's defense is extremely strong right now. He's going to have to vary things up.
Yeah, and he's getting supply blocked, and this is why wulverate is playing at this aggressive style, because he's not confident in his mid to late game stages, especially against a formidable opponent like Cloud. And we're starting to see this getting supply blocked, doesn't have the right amount of probes, doesn't really know what tech path to go down, he's kind of indecisive. And this is just the weakness of a player who, is brought out here to snipe Cloud, and that's what his plan was from Game 1 and Game 2. And as soon as Cloud defends it, the better player usually wins, and that's what's happening here for Cloud.
Yeah, the sacrificial factory, folks, floating across the map, doing as much scouting as possible. It might be brought down. It may be brought down before it reaches the base. Just on a 50% HP right now. wulverate will need to try and take it out because Cloud's going to get free scouting information right here. A juking with a factory Cloud is not exactly what, but he's going to be able to get away. You never know. It will be on fire, so good luck fixing that one. He might even drop a mule in to do it if he's feeling really generous, but I don't think so. Right now, we've got another engineering bay up for Cloud. That double engineering bay play is what we expect, and a command center as well.
Yeah, whilst he was playing around with that factory, he did get the scout onto the well, the scan, sorry, onto wulverate's base. Did see the forge, but now we do see a robotics bay being added on. Cloud doesn't quite know about that yet. I mean, obviously, it could have been hidden somewhere else, so probably wouldn't surprise me if he did start some Viking production soon. He does have 5 medivacs already.
By the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like he might be able to go in there and see it. I'm not sure if the factory will burn out in time. It might be very close.
Yeah, 100, about 115 HP. Yeah, it will get there, I think. It will get there, definitely, unless the Stalker's moving very quickly to intercept it. 3, 2, 1. There you go, folks. And he scouts the robotics bay and then scans as well, just because, hey, he can. And in the meantime, another rollout right here, primarily consisting of Stalkers, Zealots, and a fairly significant number of sentries as well, but Cloud has a wall of doom for that to throw itself at, and I would not want to be anywhere near it. And upgrades-wise, Cloud, of course, streaming ahead, as always. Yeah, +1 has been completed for Cloud. Now researching +2 attack and +1 armor. It looks like Wulverate, you know, trying to be a little bit aggressive here. Setting up position outside for Cloud. One Marine does stim. Does it see anything? No. Oh. But it looks like Wulverate is trying to move up here. You know, not really a good idea, especially with the bunkers there. Yep. And Cloud in a very solid place here. And Wulverate, I'm not sure. He's warping in a lot of units, waiting for +1 finish, +1 attack to finish. Yeah, absolutely. That is a lot of units coming in right here. It will be a tough push, though. It really, really will. That is the last place you want to be right now, against that many Marauders. If you want to count, folks, 25 Marauders, concussive shells, stim. The Zealots, even with charge, are going to have difficulty getting in there. This is going to get messy. Cloud has had enough, folks. He is throwing it down, and here we go. And it's good force field block, though. A critical force field block there by Wulverate. Most of the firepower blocked in at the back and cuts the force in half. That's pretty brutal. It's a complete surround right there, jammed in by the force fields. It's turning the tables right here. Wulverate is actually going to end up winning this encounter. Cloud must pull back. He has no choice right now. He doesn't even have anything to be able to deal with that Colossus. Breaks right into the bunkers right here. He does have the firepower to push him back, though. Yeah, a little bit too eager there. Wulverate should back off. He should have backed off a while ago. This is a huge error coming into here now. He's not going to be able to do enough damage, and you can see that he lost so much. He was actually at a great advantage taking out Cloud's army there, but threw it away. It looks like Cloud might actually lose his third. No, actually, he doesn't see it. Yeah. So it looks like he's trying to kill him. Now the thermal lance has finally finished, and a third Colossus is on the way. But trying to attack into bunkers and point defense drone, huge mistake. And Wulverate basically threw away that huge advantage he gained. That was really unfortunate. Impetuous would be the word that I would call him right there. He just got overly aggressive. He took a great, and I do mean a great win there, and then went in, and now he's going for it again, and that's not going to work. There are Vikings there. They are very well defended. Those bunkers are there. The point defense drones are there. What are you going to do with a primarily Stalker force? The answer is, well, nothing. Your firepower will be for naught against a defense like that. Yeah, now Cloud has +3. Weapons being researched and +2 armor, and in the background Wulverate does have +1 armor being researched. He's going to try and engage again and use these Colossus with these force fields. Very nice combination, but not really a nice blink. No, not really, honestly. He's able to keep Cloud from killing him horribly for a few seconds, but now he's going for it nonetheless. That's not going to happen. Here we go. Viking shelling coming down. The Colossi melting very rapidly. There's no way Wulverate can stand up against that many Marauders. Not going to happen. That entire force annihilated once again. Wulverate should have just backed the hell away. He's been there for far too long. Cloud is now going to punish him for it. Yeah, he's definitely going to push him, and Cloud will go directly for a counter-attack, and I think that might be the end of Wulverate. Hardly any units, so we have 4 sentries and a Colossus here left over, and that is not going to be enough to fight against this Marauder heavy army and a couple of Vikings. No way in hell. We've seen clutch defenses in this tournament. I don't think it's going to happen this time, though. I would imagine force fields will try and delay things, but at the end of the day, he's got medevacs. He can just drop it directly into the base. He doesn't care. Third base getting annihilated. Nothing will live under a cloud of shelling. It will be destroyed. It will be nothing but dust on the ground. Nexus annihilated very rapidly. Now Cloud will go for the throat. And what is Wulverate going to do other than roll over and die? Yeah, I mean, Cloud's just going to go in. He sees there's nothing there, and not looking too good for Wulverate. Not exactly, no. This is the kind of situation it's very difficult to come back from. More force fields deployed, but the sentry's being ripped apart. Blink doesn't even manage to get him into his base. Oh, wow, that is a sledgehammer approach there by Cloud. GG, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Cloud wins 1, and it's 1 apiece in this best of 3 series.
And we will be going into the third final game.
Yeah, we will.
wulverate, not a good day for him. He's got a dark cloud above him.
I see what you did
pulled
there.
that one there, didn't
very well, very well.
Yeah, and, you know, that dark cloud is going to be raining heavy into the third game. Cloud's looking a bit more...
A storm is coming, Apollo. A storm is coming.
Yeah. It's not looking good for wulverate, and especially now Cloud understands who he's playing against, understands his style. And basically, just to sum that up for you, wulverate is a very aggressive player. He doesn't have, you know, late game strengths. He can't really fight late game. So the third game is basically what he will do. He will be very aggressive and try to end Cloud as fast as possible.
Absolutely.
In whichever way that will be. 4-gate, you know, 2 forward gateway with zealots. I don't know.
Proxy,
he's gonna proxy gateways and all these kind of builds is what he's gonna do. And Cloud kind of knows that now. And so Cloud will be playing very safe, play cautious, scouting around the map, scouting everywhere in anticipation for something like that. And as long as Cloud can defend against any of these things, I think he's going to be pretty safe to grab that second place spot.
Yep, and we'll see which map is picked for this one, because that's going to be crucial depending on what actually happens for the Protoss player in this matchup, fighting for his life as we go along. He did a good job of ending Cloud very quickly there, but to be honest, I would still call that more Cloud's mistake than wulverate's. Not so much his build order, really, but his actual skill there. And he's doing very well, certainly, but I think it does come down to Cloud wasn't expecting that. He didn't scout it properly. And there were a couple of times where wulverate could have gone in there, but he got overconfident, he got impetuous, and he threw himself, well, to the wolves, really, which is not what you want. It really isn't. Cloud got his macro going, Cloud got his economy rolling, and that was it.
Yeah, and that is a very strong Cloud to play against.
Yep.
Sounds weird, that sentence. It's a very strong Cloud.
A very strong Cloud to play against. It is a little bit odd, yes.
Yeah, and they are just choosing, well, not they are, but wulverate is just choosing the final map. I suspect that he's going to probably choose quite a big map, 4-player map, so Cloud scouts as late as possible.
Yeah.
And it is indeed going to be Terminus Re.
Makes sense.
So a nice big open map for wulverate to do all these crazy ideas. It might even be something like 3-gate, Stargate, 3-gate with a Stargate, and a lot of Void Rays.
The problem is that Terminus Re is the macro paradise. You can take those 3 bases very easily, and if he allows Cloud to get into that situation, that's it. He's done. Yep.
And Cloud's very, 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 very strong. And countdown has begun, as you can probably hear.
Bow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on the loading screen right now, and prepared to rock and or roll, whichever you prefer. And here we go, folks. Cloud in the red trunks. He is playing Terran right here on the Terminus Re versus his opponent, wulverate. In the pink trunks, he is playing Protoss.
Well, we don't have any proxy gateways. That's the first thing we can point out. So you can eliminate that one. We'll have to see what wulverate decides to do in this game, because I'm pretty sure that he's not going to play like we see Hazyobs play, 2-gate into Expo. You know, I don't think that's his style.
He's not confident that way, is he, really? And Hazyobs is extremely confident in that. I don't know why it is that some people say that Hazyobs can't fight late game. That is rubbish. He absolutely can. And he has done extremely well thus far in doing just that.
And Cloud already sending out, well, not sending out, sorry, will be moving around the base shortly to look for anything. And this is a big map, and it's even, you know, long distances away from each other. They haven't spawned close at all. And I don't know how this is going to pull out. And I think Cloud is obviously going to be loving positions if he could see what was up. And Cloud just, as long as, like I mentioned before, as long as he just defends against anything that's thrown at him, he'll definitely be super far ahead in this game. And that is definitely his plan going into this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. His plan being to win as opposed to lose. Useful talent to have, as far as I'm aware.
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah. Barracks on the way down for Cloud. Nothing special from him at all as of yet. That is a later gateway for wulverate. That really, really is. Gateway on 13, so we're not going for that crazy 11-gate into 4-gateway strategy that we saw from Hill earlier. Kind of a shame, because it worked.
Yeah, it did work, and he had to cut a lot of probes, even lost a lot of probes in the background, but he did have enough units at that time.
To finish him off, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think Cloud's going to go for a very aggressive expansion play, especially because of the style he knows his opponent's going to be playing, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a very similar build to the previous game. Cloud going for, because basically if his opponent's going to be aggressive, the kind of the counter to an aggressive Protoss, if you can defend the main ramp, is going to be Cloaked Banshees.
Yep.
Because there's going to be very gateway heavy, very intensive, and he's not going to have an observer. And even if he does have a robotics facility like we saw in the previous game,
like Immortals,
which is you know, 1-gate into Robo, he had Immortals, not the Observer.
Yeah, but it didn't work out so well for him, honestly. The Immortals got punished very, very hard indeed. Once the Banshees were in there, that was it. I mean, Banshees tear through Immortals very, very well. And we'll see what Cloud decides to do. He's only got a single gas up so far.
Yeah, and actually, wulverate deciding to sacrifice this probe to get in there. Doesn't see anything. And I don't know what that's with this. A second probe has been sent out. I'm not sure if Cloud did register that. They did touch hands as the SCV probe moved away. And now Cloud will be going into the base and seeing that double gas has been taken. And all you can see is this gateway, and he must be thinking, all right, well, something must be up, and we can see that this probe here is a little bit sneaky. And depending on how Cloud is registering this, he might think, all right, well, you're missing a pylon because you need to be building a pylon right now in your main, and you're not. So he might even suspect something and throw down that bunker, as we see here. He is moving around, trying to see if he can find anything, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did actually see a Stargate being thrown down.
Yeah, it would make sense. Honestly, the way that wulverate's actually building right here is that he has Cloud scared for another 4-gateway attack or something aggressive.
DTs.
Well. Yes, that will be interesting, certainly. We've got Starport coming down right here for Cloud, going through straight to the 1-1-1 build. His bunker's up there. No fancy stuff from him whatsoever for the moment. We do have a tech lab coming down as well, so one would expect the same play again right now. I
mean, I'm just thinking back to, like, Cloud basically has a mental tick list of all the things that he needs to worry about, and I'm not sure if he was even thinking about DTs, to be honest. Because I know I wasn't, and I'm not sure if Cloud is either. He's not saving up energy for one. He's not even going to think about building an engineering bay, that's for certain.
But what about he could be building a Raven, though.
He very well could be, but I have a feeling, oh my god, it is a Raven. So it looks like Cloud will be able to defend against this. I was going to say.
It makes sense because he opened up with a Raven last game as well. So there's nothing really wrong with that. It makes perfect sense that he would do it.
Yeah, very safe by Cloud. And the pylon has been placed down. The shrine takes so long to build. And Cloud is going to be able to defend against this kind of aggression. And I wouldn't be surprised if wulverate GG'd as soon as the Raven popped out or as soon as he notices it. Because that is his game plan. He doesn't have a mid-game plan. His idea in this game is to kill Cloud very, very fast and very swiftly.
Yeah, and it's not going to work. I'm very, very surprised they decided to go for the Dark Templar build, considering that last game, Cloud also popped out a Raven very quickly.
Yeah.
Because he uses the point defense drone all the time, and it was actually critical in the defense last time. And I think, actually, he's been provoked into doing just that. Because he saw, well, the pylon's not there, so that can mean one of a couple of things. Either it means that he is going for an aggressive sort of 4-gate style, or he's building something with proxy. So one way or the other, if he's going 4-gate Stalker heavy, let's have a Raven. If he's going DTs, let's have a Raven. It makes sense.
Why does he have a Forge? I'm trying to really work that out. It doesn't make sense for him to have a Forge. He's not building cannons, obviously, and he's not getting any upgrades. Doesn't really make too much sense. But he is going to move up here. Nice, well, okay force fields, but auto turret, Raven, 2 DTs down to half health, 3 DTs down to basically nothing.
Force backwards.
Yeah, you've got to leave, and now he's going to try and expand from this. But, I mean, Cloud can either counterattack when Stim finishes, and that could be the end of wulverate in this tournament.
It could be, potentially. Bear in mind, though, if he's able to snipe off the Raven, those DTs in a Hazard style will prove to be extremely effective. And he does have... I'm actually kind of surprised he's not going for Blink right now to do just that, although he is very low on gas right now. Grab Blink, and then once the Raven comes in, Blink under it, nail it down, kill it immediately, and then force Cloud to use a scanner, assuming he has the energy for it, which he might not.
And a cannon has been placed down on the mineral line of wulverate. Just playing safe for any Banshees. Doesn't want to lose a lot of probes needlessly. Doesn't have a Robovate. Oh, actually, Cloud moving down. Very nice, actually, by him picking that up.
Oh, nice drop play by him. Very, very good indeed. wulverate tries to apply pressure, but he loses Dark Templar in the process. Pricey. wulverate cannot push that line. It's not going to happen.
Nice split by wulverate, but unfortunately a better pickup by Cloud. Very, very marine heavy, actually. And that's kind of interesting. He's not even opted to go for the Marauders at all. Hasn't got the shells. Only has Stim and Combat Shield in research, that by the way. And we wouldn't be surprised if Cloud decides to push out soon. I mean, he has this expansion ready to go. Needs to build an Orbital Commando first. Thank you, Cloud. and then he will be looking to move down. But this wulverate force, I don't think it's going to work too well against this
that will not crack
force.
that line. That's not going to happen. He goes for it anyway. He gets a split, takes a single Marine with it, which is not all that ideal. Cloud using those medivacs to quickly move his force away from the front line. That force is now highly mobile, and now he knows that wulverate's force is out of position. I will have to wonder if he'll actually go for an aggressive drop, because he might get back there. I don't know. Will he get back there before wulverate does, though? It's a bit of a race.
I think Cloud is anticipating and just kind of thinking that wulverate's going to keep force fielding the ramp to kind of keep him in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, all right, that's cool. I'll just go drop beam. That's fine. But actually, wulverate is moving back, so this drop isn't going to be effective at all. But then again, it does make wulverate move back to his base, so Cloud can expand anyway, and will start to go into the mid stages of this game here. Very, very barracks heavy here. Marauder's in production now, and Raven really starting to build up the energy here, but we'll have to see how effective this drop can be.
It's looking quite messy, potentially, and wulverate, I don't know, wulverate does have a fairly significant force. He is in the kind of area he needs to be to properly defend against this, and Cloud, he doesn't have a weapon upgrade. He's only just started it. He does have combat shield, he does have stim, and as we know, Marines do counter everything, and he's going to be patient, and this is why. Look at this, wulverate rolling out right now, and that force is just waiting for an opportunity, and now it moves in, and wulverate's not going to like that one little bit. He continues to stream forward, and that entire line is incredibly vulnerable now into the mineral line, and that is a duck shoot going on right there. That entire expansion is going to get gutted. wulverate backing away, and this won't even be suicide either. Cloud will be able to actually get out of this, and he takes so many probes with him in the process. Universal, look at that, 18 workers devastated by this amazing push. He'll lose one medevac, he'll probably evacuate the others, or indeed just throw them in there. Look at the amount of damage he's doing. That is a huge amount. 27, 28, 29, 30 workers taken out by that drop. Unbelievable stuff. 14 probes left for wulverate right now. Devastating.
And if wulverate decides to go for a counterattack, we already have 3 bunkers in position. Cloud knowing exactly what to do.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's kind of a similar situation to the way we saw Cloud play against Hazjobs, completely destroying the opponent's economy, but then falling up with a very nice defense. And I think Cloud will have enough here to hold, especially all these SCVs can be used and pulled off the mineral line to repair these bunkers if necessary. And it looks like this huge counterattack is going to come, and if he doesn't do significant damage, I think he might tap out.
We will find out. The thing is that level 1 infantry weapon upgrade might be available. It'll come up in the middle of this fight. It might change it. wulverate delays, which will mean that that infantry weapon should complete just as this attack actually hits. Delays it to take a little pot shot of the factory right now. We're looking at 9 more seconds for that. A good deployment of the point defense. Strong immediately push back. Again, Stalker Heavy can't do anything against this Raven composition.
Yeah, and wulverate trying to knock on the door, but Cloud is not opening at all, and even decides to take a third. Very smart play here by Cloud. Completely safe. Really, really solid play by Cloud. Yep. And basically, we are seeing Manchester United try to take on Oxford City Centre because it is not working. The Cloud is completely
Oxford
training.
City Centre, is that a shopping mall? Because I'm fairly sure shopping malls don't play football right there. But whatever the case, it probably is like that, really. And Cloud is in a good situation, an exceptional situation. If we have a look at the army count, it is in favor of him. He blinks through, and now he's going to lose all those Stalkers. That was not a good idea. They will not be able to escape from that without taking significant losses. Nails down yet another, looks for it. So much in the air. He's engaging, which, why? Why would you do that? I cannot imagine. Cloud is decimating him, as you would expect, and this counterattack will probably finish him.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud's going to push out. He knows the army's small. He knows his opponent's economy is small, and Cloud is really driving this game. And unfortunately, the nice force fields, but there just isn't enough army to back it up. 48 food compared to 105 of Cloud's.
Nah, it's just not going to happen. Army supply now on 868 for Cloud. I would call that a fairly significant advantage. Cloud now has a lot of mobility. He's got the stim, he's got the medivacs, and wulverate has harsh language, I assume, really. Dark Templar moving in as well, trying to sneak past, but that didn't happen. Absolutely not. They were nailed down very easily, and here comes the push, folks. And this is probably going to be the push that's going to end wulverate. I don't see wulverate being able to come back from this. He does have 16 supplies worth of army versus 76. He is completely outnumbered. He's completely outgunned. And so far, he's been completely outplayed. And here it comes, folks. Here comes the sledgehammer to the face of wulverate. 1 Stalker, 2 Stalker, 3 and 4. Nothing left. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Cloud takes him out 2-1 in this best of 3 series.